Welcome back to the Vault Podcast. We have a lot to talk about. I took a trip to Mexico. I watched a few eye opening movies this week, two of which are Dumb Money and King Richard. And I even educated myself on gender theory and why we're becoming more and more of a gender obsessed society. But before we get started, on to housekeeping. We now have 14 subscribers on YouTube. That is up 10 subscribers since last week, so we're making progress. I'm excited to announce we've gained 6 followers on TikTok. That's up 6 followers from last week. We finally broke through the algorithm a little bit and got some people to follow us. Rounding out all of our viewers this week, we have about 5,000 viewers on all platforms. But before we get into today's episode, I would like to show some of my appreciation for all of the amazing feedback we've been getting on our YouTube Shorts. At StormOQ6ZC. Keep up the great video. I know you can make it big. Thank you, Storm OQ. That truly does mean a lot to me. And we're going to keep on grinding it out and trying to do our best. I would also like to mention that Storm is our 13th subscriber. So we really appreciate the support and hope to see you in further comments. Backroom Survival Guide 7 said, "Yo, Dubs, man, make sure to keep grinding." He also gave me a couple of tips on how to post and things like that, but I mostly just wanted to shout out his positivity. He also said, "This channel has hella potential." So thank you, Backroom Survival Guide. That really, truly does mean the world to me. And last but not least, we have Twinsy1 saying, "I will always support you." And Stephen Epic saying, "The 10th subscriber has hit the tower." Thanks to both of you. Also, I'd like to point out that Steven has his own YouTube channel and he's doing some really fun stuff over there. So go check him out. Again, thank you to everyone who's showing the support and love in these videos. I hope to see you guys all in future videos, and I hope you guys get to see this video so that I get a second to show my appreciation and let you guys know how much you really do mean to me. Oh, wait, hang on. We have one more. Brought to you by Panda Express himself. You're only starting on your path to success. Thank you, Panda, for your amazing fortune, and I really hope so. On to other news, me and my girlfriend got to go to Puerto Vallarta last week. Absolutely beautiful place. So many ways, in so many ways, Mexico is better than America. A little background on me. I grew up in a predominantly Hispanic town down in southern Idaho. So growing up, I was around a lot of Spanish culture, a lot of Spanish practices. I also grew up hearing about Mexico, hearing about stories, hearing about the culture, hearing about how other people live their lives. Did you know that Mexicans specifically put their medicine in the dishwasher? So that's a little fun fact about Hispanic culture. So when I visited Cancun in middle school, I more or less thought I kind of knew how life was down there. And Puerto Vallarta proved me wrong in so many ways. So this leads me into our first segment, Mexico's top 3 takeaways. Number 1, the people of Mexico are the most inviting people I've ever met. Even regular people off the street will have conversations with you, and more than half the people we met just want to share a joke. Number 2, there are so many village dogs. All of them very friendly, but taken care of by all of the people around them. They don't really have any owners. They kind of just wander around being village dogs. Um, so when you're traveling in Mexico, make sure to stop by and see some village dogs. Number 3, people are people everywhere you go. Just like America, parents want to protect their kids. Everyone enjoys good food. And even kids in Mexico yell out the window at pedestrians walking down the street for fun. Despite our differences, every culture has basic similarities, and Mexico is no exception to that rule. On to further news. I watched the movie Dumb Money. I watched it on the flight back from Mexico, and I can't recommend this movie enough. It's all about the GameStop short squeeze back in 2020. I knew a couple of things about that short squeeze, seeing it on the news. I was transitioning from high school to college, so I wasn't quite invested in the stock market at that time, sadly, because man, talk about an opportunity. Um, but I knew a lot about it, and I was really, really interested in it. So I paid attention to kind of the breakdown and GameStop to the moon, and then subsequently Doge to the moon. Uh, for starters, I didn't know that short squeeze took 6 months to a year to actually happen. The news kind of made it out to be more or less an overnight thing. All of a sudden, oh, some people off of Reddit decided that they wanted to invest in GameStop like crazy. And that just wasn't really how it actually went down. There was one dude, went by Kitty something, I don't even remember. He was constantly making YouTube videos and constantly posting on Reddit. Uh, he got so much hate all the time until it started to become true. And he started to get a following, and we, the people, fought back against the short squeeze on GameStop. Or, sorry, not the short squeeze on GameStop. We, the people, fought back on the investing in GameStop's downfall. So, more or less, a bunch of people got together, said this company's undervaluing GameStop. We're going to dump a bunch of money into it and screw those guys over. That's kind of the basics of the situation. The one thing I didn't think the movie did justice is I think the news had a bigger impact on the short squeeze of GameStop than almost any other factor when it came to that whole ordeal. Yes, they were short squeezing GameStop, and yes, these companies were losing billions of dollars. But it wasn't until that story hit mainstream and everyone was constantly talking about it, combined with the huge influx of news watchers because it was COVID, that blew this sky high, really. I mean, let's see, they short squeezed it, I think starting somewhere about $3, and once it hit the news, it was about $100. After it hit the news, it went to like $350 only within a couple of weeks. So that's something they didn't talk about in the congressional hearing. That's something they didn't talk about in the lawsuit. And that's really not something they talked about a ton in the movie. Yes, they showed the news clips, but they didn't put the weight on the news that I thought that it deserved. Because if you ask me, the news had the biggest impact. Once it was public knowledge, once it was mainstream media, the situation absolutely blew out of the water, and so many more people jumped on that bandwagon um, and got their money for the short squeeze. I think they did a great job in representing the people involved in the whole situation. They did a great job at representing the YouTubers. I think they did a great job at representing the people that had stories invested in this GameStop. I think they did a really, really good job at showcasing the owners of Robinhood, and I think they did a pretty accurate job at showcasing the hedge fund managers. All in all, I think it's pretty accurate. They showed a lot of proof in the movie, um, and they doubled down constantly about how accurate all of the happenstances were that came into that movie. On to other news. I watched a Wisecrack video. If you don't know Wisecrack, definitely go check them out. I love them. They're so informative, and I watch almost every single video. So if you don't know who Wisecrack are, their YouTube channel, go check them out. Anyways, I watched one of their videos on gender theory, specifically why now. It's a video all about the history of gender theory and how it's translating in today's society. At first, I had very structured opinions about gender theory, and their roles in our society, and the potential scourge on our society that we were having from the transgender movement and the drag movement and the LGBTQ community as a whole. I was pretty right leaning in my views, very, those guys are the enemy. We're not. I like to say I have an open mind, and I never personally judged anybody on the street, but my political views stood apart from my personal actions. Now, after watching this video, I understand that the situation is a lot more complicated. Gender theory and gender history has been a problem in our society a lot longer than we want to think it is. Specifically, the state versus marginalized homosexual groups and the strategies that we used in the 1970s to demonize homosexuals and the strategies we're now using to demonize transgender. So, more or less because of that video, I'm keeping a little bit more open mind on the subject, and I understand that it's a lot more complicated than just black and white. So, thank you, Wisecrack. That means a lot. I've grown as a person. That being said, I still think gender is very important in our society. I still think the male female role in especially raising children is very, very important. Very, very important. But now, at least I understand that it doesn't always have to be that case. And a lot of the reason we think the way we do is because the state wants us to. And I love freedom, and I don't want anybody telling me how to think or what to do. That being said, I still don't want grown ass men in women's bathrooms. That's not cool. Give transgenders their own bathroom. I'm totally okay with that. So keyword from Wisecrack's video: biopower. Go and look it up. Next on the list here, I finally watched the King Richard movie. After, what has it been, 4 years or so? I originally saw the trailers back in 2019, but never was able to see the movie. I wish I would have seen it. I wish I would have seen it a little sooner. Not only am I a sucker for inspirational movies, but I feel that that movie was swept under the rug. Whether that was because of COVID, whether that was because of any Will Smith shenanigans that was going on at the time. I don't quite remember all his timelines and things that were going on. I know he was struggling with Jada Pinkett at the time. So, for one way or another, I don't think that that movie got its justice when it needed it. So, I got to watch it. Absolutely love it. It was touching, it was exciting, and most importantly, it was authentic. At first, I wasn't sure how true the plot was, but after watching an interview with Serena Williams, she actually delved into talking about how authentic the movie really, really was, to the point where her and her family were involved in all of the script writing process. And they even added little touches into the movie that previously weren't even in the script. Like, there was one instance where they would drive by the cemetery and wave to all the people that lived before. And it was kind of just a little quirky tidbit, but a fun little addition to the movie and something that really did happen. I think Richard Williams was a loving father, and he pushed his children really, really hard. And if that movie really is as accurate as everyone says it is, then I think he deserves all of it. He worked his ass off, and those girls love him to death. So there's a lot of parents that are cruel and overbearing, and we all know the Michael Jackson story or Tiger Woods or you name any other person that's been way too pushed by his parents, and I don't think Richard Williams was one of those. That being said, as I watched the movie, I couldn't help but notice that Richard Williams' tactics were very similar to LeVar Ball's tactics in raising the Ball kids. I mean, another successful story, but makes me wonder if he took inspiration from Richard Williams. I mean, when LeVar was growing up, he probably would have saw that whole deal. Richard Williams was on the news. He ran brands. He was in the public eye. So who knows? Either way, it worked out for both of them. But nonetheless, I love it and recommend anyone who hasn't seen it to go watch it right now. Forget this video. Go watch the movie. Okay. Welcome back for everybody who went and watched the King Richard movie. Leave a comment down below telling me your cryability rating. For me, it was a cryability rating 1. If anybody doesn't know, cryability means how many times did I cry during that movie. On to other inspirational movie news. I went and saw the Arthur the King movie last night. I'll keep things short and avoid spoilers, but all I can say is it's a cryability rating 3. I loved it. Can't say enough good things about it, but I'll hold my opinions for further videos. Alrighty, I wanted to take a couple minutes, hook up my assistant with a microphone, and we wanted to tell you guys about Mexico. Are you ready? No, it's fine. Why? No, it's okay. No, because I'm just going to put it in the back. Yeah, let's try it on the podcast. So, yep. And just don't yell too much.
Okay. I just can't wait to show you all my dresses.
Sounds good. You're on the podcast. Oh. We, before we get started on Mexico, are going to try this snack that we saw on Instagram. It's 2-to-1 ratio of sugar to water, and you just dip some fruit in it. And we wanted to see if it's good or not, so we're going to do a little taste test real quick. Have you tried it yet?
No.
Okay. Oh, no, not yet. I just got to get ready.
What? No, you have to grab this.
Get a grape, and get a banana.
Okay.
We'll try it together.
I don't know if it's solidified, but...
Okay, we're going to try the banana first. Ready? I spilled some... Oh! It's like super banana-y.
Yeah, it didn't solidify, but I think we just gotta put it in the freezer.
That'd probably be a good idea. Okay, hang on. Before you eat it. Okay, she ate it. It's okay. I'll eat mine too. I like the bananas better. What do you think?
The grapes.
But you like sour. The grapes are sour. Maybe if the grapes were sweeter. Okay. 1 out of 10, what do you rate the banana?
8.
An 8 out of 10?
8.5.
Holy cow. You realize that a 10 is like the best you've ever had, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to rate it a 7. Okay. Now, what do you rate the grape? 1 out of 10.
9.
I have sticky hands now. A 9?
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me that grape is 1 point off of the best thing you've ever eaten.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best thing you've ever eaten? Food.
Don't know. Probably dessert of some kind.
Creme brulee.
It's pretty good.
I'm gonna rate the banana. Oh wait, I already rated the banana 7. I'm gonna rate the grape a 5.5. It's not that it's terrible. It's just barely above middle of the pack, if you know what I'm saying. You know, it's like Ritz crackers, that grape. Okay, let's talk about Mexico. And stop eating all the bananas. She needs to share. Please.
Alright, fine.
I need to eat some. So sticky. It dripped all over me. This was delicious snack, really messy.
You don't get any more grapes because you rated them 5 out of 5.
Okay, well, let's talk about Mexico. The people want to know.
Okay.
Also, you're chewing the mic. That is a crunchy grape. Don't chew. Okay, we're doing some ASMR today, people. Alrighty, so it was your first time in Mexico.
Yeah.
How was it?
Magical.
Magical? What happened? You met Houdini? David Blaine?
No, I met
Gandalf?
Victor.
Victor?
Yeah.
Well, who's Victor?
I'm trying to remember the restaurant name. It's La Casa de mi Compadre or something like that.
Look it up. La Casa de mi Compadre. Give him a Yelp review.
It's something like that.
Victor and his wife, amazing people.
Amazing.
Victor is the only server, and he's also the bartender, and the restaurant only has like 4 tables, and his wife cooks all of the food upstairs. Awesome, awesome people. Every time I go to Puerto Vallarta, I'll be going to Victor's.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'm finding his business card. Because okay, La Casa de mi Compadre.
La Casa de mi Compadre. Give him a good Yelp review. We love Victor. Victor was not only incredibly nice to us, he makes awesome food. His tequila or his margaritas have a little bit too much tequila in them.
No, those margaritas slapped. They were so good.
He gave us advice and a little kind of funny stories. So when you're in Mexico, you have to pay with everything with cash because cards can be sketchy, or maybe your bank doesn't want to work with it. It's way easier to do on cash. Well, we didn't have enough cash, just on hand. We had some at our hotel room. We just didn't have any in our pockets. So we gave him what we had, and Victor was kind enough and trusted us enough to leave, go get the money, and bring it back. And we did. We gave him a good tip because of it. But that just shows you what kind of man he is. And if there's anything that I can do to help him, or anything that you guys can do to help him, go leave a review. Go see Victor. Go help him out. He's an awesome guy.
Not only that, but he said not to worry about it.
He did say not to worry about it. Yeah, we were short $7.
No, I thought it was like 5.
It was like 5. Oh yeah, it was 5.
Yeah, it was like $5.
We were short $5, and he just told us not to worry about it. Of course we did, and we brought him back the money. But it's just, that's the kind of guy he is, and those kind of people deserve the world.
Yeah, he's really cool.
Okay, now, what else did you like about Mexico? I mean, let's see. We had a whole day of flying there, or we had to wake up at 3 in the morning. We had to drive to the airport. We had to wait in the airport for an hour. Flew out at 5 o'clock. Had a 30-minute, 40-hour layover in Seattle, and then a 4.5-hour flight to Puerto Vallarta. So how was the flying? How was the traveling?
Traveling totally fine, except it was a little confusing once we got into Mexico when we finally landed in the airport in Puerto Vallarta. It was very... Yeah. we didn't realize we were gonna have to stand in multiple lines. They were very long and it was very stuffy and it was very hot and everyone had a good attitude though. Everyone that was in line was excited to be there, which was really cool.
That is cool, and that's something I've never seen in America at
Yeah,
all.
like the lines were really long. We were through customs and through the security and all of the lines that we had to go through took us probably like 2 hours to get through all of them, and everyone the whole time was so happy. Also,
I bought these glasses.
yeah, you bought those glasses. There were
So,
so many families, so many babies.
oh my gosh. I didn't know Puerto Vallarta is the city to bring your children.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I mean, I guess so. It was so welcoming.
I guess, yeah.
And as long as you stay right on that strip on the main road, you're safe.
So many children.
Yeah, there
everywhere.
was so many kids. And yeah, no, traveling was great in my opinion. I mean, it was a little sketchy and jinkety when we got to the airport in Mexico, standing in all those lines being confused because don't know where the exit is, and we found out that the exit we had to stand in another line to go through the exit.
Salsa means exit.
Salsa. Oh my gosh.
There's little signs and they say, do you remember what they say?
Yeah, they say salida.
They say salida. And I just read it as salsa. And then I was just like, salsa means exit. So we followed the salsa. And it led us to another line. So we stood in a line of about 200 people. That led into a line of about 600 people. Once we got past customs, we had to follow salsa to the exit. And that led us to another line of about 200 people, where they then checked our bags and a bunch of military dudes and all of the things that come with the hassle and hustle and bustle of customs, which is really just, hey, can I see your passport? Oh, okay, cool, go.
They were so chill.
So chill.
So chill. Yeah, when we came back to the US, it was a little interesting.
Well, a lot less lines, a lot more rude.
Yeah.
That
was a very welcoming. It was also really weird though to hear English when we came back.
It's true. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Off.
Let's go in chronological order here.
Okay,
so we get through customs and we get through those doors. So they have like weird sealed doors where it's a door and then you walk through and they have cameras that look at you and then it's another door, but it's oddly air conditioned, even though both sides of these doors aren't. So we walk through those and what do we get to? We get to a bunch of dudes standing there yelling at us. There is a line of Hispanic guys with signs on one side and a line with Hispanic guys with signs on the other side. Everyone's trying to get you a taxi.
When? Oh, when we landed in Puerto Vallarta?
Yeah, we just got through customs.
Oh yeah, also...
What was that next thing? You remember the two doors? With the camera in the middle? The green? It was a glass door with green lighting. Got to go through it. There's a camera.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Yeah, right? So I just described that. We get through those doors, and then what?
We walk a little bit, and then there's lines of people with the signs that normally you'd see like a guy in a tuxedo holding a name on a paper in their hand.
Chauffeur.
Yeah, but there's millions of them, and there were so many. There were so many. They were like on top of each other, practically yelling at you, saying taxi? Or what's your like? Mm-hmm. They yell names, and it was crazy. It was a lot, and of course,
when you're sitting there and you're like, do we trust them? Is this what we're supposed to do? We have no idea. No one's telling us this stuff. We don't know. There's no guidelines for this, and so we took a chance and we asked one of them. We said, "Hey, can you get us a taxi?" He goes, "Where are you going?" And we're like, we're going to go to this hotel. Okay, go see this guy. So we go see this guy. This guy goes, well, where are you going? Oh, we're going to this hotel. He gives us this like child map. It's like, it's not even a real map. It has animated features. And he's like, okay, you guys are going to go here. And then he directs us outside to where we go to a kiosk to pay for the taxi before we even see the taxi. So that was freaky. And then what happened?
Oh, we just hopped in the car.
So we hopped in the car.
It was a little like...
It was a little scary at first.
I don't think so. Everything was really official. I thought. I didn't think it was scary or sketchy at all.
Well, I was worried we might get ripped off.
Well, I mean, we did. It was $24 to make it to our where we were staying at,
True.
and all the other times it's like $10 or $5 depending on where you go, just for a normal taxi. But it was through the airport. It was extra safe, and our taxi driver's trying to sell us weed on the way.
Our taxi driver did try to sell us weed on the way. We were just talking about the town and what to expect, and we saw some military guys. We were asking about the military presence. Little fun fact: military weren't there like 5 or so years ago, but they've been there more recently. And the taxi driver said Puerto Vallarta has become a lot more safe because of them. He then asks me, he goes, "Do you smoke?" And I said, "Eh." And he goes, "Do you want some right now?" And I was like, "Oh, no, 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 no." And here in the States, we're all worried about fentanyl, so I don't want to buy marijuana on the street. So of course I was worried about it in Mexico, and I don't know. Everyone is always trying to sell you weed over there. Kind of weird. Interesting. Not used to weed being legal on the street either, so that was fun. But anyways, we got to our hotel safely, and when we got to our hotel, anything crazy? Did you like our hotel?
I liked our hotel.
Our hotel was cool.
I really liked our hotel. Food, meh. It was a buffet, all inclusive resort. It was meh. Plaza Pelicanos, probably.
What would you rate it? You've been to a lot of hotels and a lot of resorts.
I feel like they're pretty average. They're pretty mainstream. They're pretty normal.
Like a 5 or a 6?
Yeah, maybe a 6.
Middle of the pack, maybe a little better. They were very nice, especially the bartenders.
Maybe they were clean. They were very clean, and they never stole anything out of our room when they cleaned it.
So
they were very cool. The pools looked and felt very clean. We weren't sticky or smelled like chlorine when we got out of it. The pools didn't smell like chlorine either. And they had 2 separate pools, which was pretty cool. Most hotels only have like one, or unless you stay at somewhere nicer, they might have 2 separate ones. But this one, they had like completely 2 separate, like almost entities. Like they were almost 2 different. They weren't buildings because they're all outside, but it was really cool. And the events they put on were honestly like, I was not expecting those kind of events for that level of a resort based on all the other resorts that we got to saw in Puerto Vallarta. Those ones were really those ones were extra fancy, like beyond 5 stars, if that's even possible.
They were luxury for sure.
They were, yeah, very luxurious. So I'm really happy we stayed where we did, because it was kind of like in the like, I wouldn't say in the ghetto, like that. It
was off the strip. Is probably the best way you could put it.
No, it was on the strip. It was right off the strip, and it was on next to the beach.
Puerto Vallarta strip.
Oh, like the boardwalk.
If Puerto Vallarta is Vegas, this hotel was off the strip. It wasn't front and center, wasn't the fanciest thing in the world. It was off to the side, and it felt a hell of a lot more like Mexico.
I loved it. Loved that it was that far off, because it was like, didn't even feel like Mexico once you got to the boardwalk and into the romantic zone, as they call it, or even to like those really fancy, luxurious resorts and restaurants and bars and all of that. And I'm not downplaying it at all, because it was beautiful and stunning over there. And they had shows going on like constantly, and it was everything coming all at you, and I loved it. But it didn't really feel like Mexico. It felt like,
you're talking about the boardwalk, correct?
Yeah, it felt like a city, like Vegas, like
kind of did feel a little Vegas-y.
Like it wasn't Mexico what you're expecting. And yeah, they still had like a couple dogs running around, and they had like decorations and food that resembled Mexico. Like everything was in Mexican culture, but it was almost like too fancy, if that makes sense.
Fancy. Yeah. It didn't feel like you were experiencing Mexican culture. It felt like you're experiencing American culture in Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah. I really enjoyed the place we stayed at, because we still got to see the shops, and they weren't like nearly as expensive as the other ones that once we got to the boardwalk. And those people that run those shops were like so much cooler and so much nicer, that I
They
think,
were,
than
yeah, they weren't
and they
so
weren't in
so
your
fast
face.
paced. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
and we
point.
were just chilling, hanging out where we were staying at Plaza Pelicanos, the beach club. By the way, they have multiple different.
Plaza Pelicanos Beach Club. If
Yeah,
you want to go to Puerto Vallarta, highly recommend.
highly recommend. It's not in the and it's pretty cheap too. Like
It's cheap.
the buffet, you get tired of it after a little bit, but they have a decent variety.
Well, and there's other places you can go. I mean, just in a short walk, there's what's his name's?
Victor.
There's sorry about that. There's Victor's. There's a food yard. There's a mall. There's other restaurants you can go to, and
Yeah, and
very very safe.
we I
There's also a restaurant in the hotel that we didn't go and try at all.
yeah. I feel like Plaza Pelicanos was the perfect place to stay because it was a short distance from all these different things.
It was, yeah. I feel like it was a
We could
perfect.
walk everywhere. I mean, we did. It was like 40-minute walk over down to the nicer place,
Mhm.
to like the boardwalk and the luxurious things, but we only did that for one day. Like, we didn't even do a whole day there. What we did is we walked down, didn't realize how cool it was, and we are like, oh, okay. Spent like 4 hours there, then walked back, but yeah, we did a lot of walking.
Well, I would say it was a perfect medium. It wasn't a dingy, scary resort. It was very clean, very nice, very hospitable people.
Very.
Family, family, tons of elderly. Uh, Everyone there was very kind. It was entertaining. Food was good enough. The beach was where we were staying. The beach was okay. There was worse beaches that we did walk on, but we also walked on better beaches. That being said, it also wasn't luxurious. We weren't waited on hand and foot. We weren't going to the best restaurants. We also weren't surrounded by 10,000 people like we would have been on the boardwalk. Um,
Yeah, it felt very private
mhm.
because
We didn't get the best beaches, but I think we did get the best, well, American to Mexican experience.
agreed. Because I we were kind of joking the whole time that we were the only Caucasian people there at
There
the
were no
resort.
white people at these resorts.
It was all Mexican families or Hispanic or whatever their ethnicity was. We were the only.
Even the white people were talking fluent Spanish.
And they didn't even look white. Like, yeah, it was a whole thing, but I'm happy about it because they were so welcoming still. And yeah, sure, they laughed at us and Cody's horrible accent.
I can't even say gracias.
Ugh. I mean,
See?
I mean,
Point taken.
yeah. The assistant, also the girlfriend, that's me. I'm not Hispanic at all. I don't have any
She's whiter
background
than
in
me.
it. I'm, but it was
She looks
so
damn straight
funny.
Irish.
What?
I don't know. You're Irish.
What? Are you just saying that because it's St. Patrick's Day?
Yes.
You're so
No.
weird.
I'm just saying you're white.
Um,
Damn straight Irish. Put that on a t-shirt.
that's so.
Wesley will
Guys,
wear
I
it.
don't look anything Irish. I
She
just,
doesn't look Irish at all.
I just want to support Cody. That's it.
Anyways, let's talk about the shops and the shopping and what we bought. I bought these glasses for $30 and they're awesome and I love them. What did you get?
30. You only got them for 20.
I got them for 20.
Cody also has a horrible memory. But he's so freaking cute, so I guess it makes up for it.
I don't know. I just gave him money and this is what I got.
Yeah. Anyways, we got a lot of cool stuff.
What'd you get?
We got a lot of cool stuff. Well, I got an anklet that you got me.
Oh.
That
What?
is probably my most favorite anklet and most favorite thing of all time. Because I've been wanting one forever. Also, people see you. You know that, right?
Well, probably not, considering how many views we got on our other videos.
Hey, what about the positivity? Give us the positivity.
We love positivity. All you guys making positive comments, keep it up. And also, if you're watching this, if there's one viewer that made it to this point of the video, Leave a little positive comment. I want to know who you are. I love you guys.
Oh. I can say from my end and what I see from Cody is that it does mean a lot to him, and I'm happy you guys are helping him make his days and his weeks and his month and his year. And
Hey, we're 4 weeks in, baby. We're halfway to the halfway point of all podcasts.
yeah,
Halfway to the halfway point. We're a quarter of the way there.
very true. Hopefully, we get Nick back in this thing.
It's okay. We're making it work. However, we got to do it.
Yeah, Nick's been sick and
Gone.
just all over the place.
It's okay. We forgive him. We love Nick. Nick's awesome. But
He'll be back.
if he ever comes back, we'll graciously accept him with open arms.
Or any of you guys.
Or any of you guys.
DM, send comments.
Yeah.
Let us know.
If you want to be on the
In
podcast,
Spokane area, let us know.
that would be fun. I'm also recording this in my bedroom, so that's what you really want from me. Don't murder me, please.
What? You just meet somewhere.
Oh, yeah, we can just meet somewhere. Anyways, Mexico shops.
Alright, so I got this anklet, and you know what? I might just have to show it on the podcast.
Show it.
It's super cute, and the shop owners were amazing people. These two beautiful Hispanic women, very friendly, very nice, not pushy at all, and helped us find what looked good. No one's going to be listening to me. Everyone's going to be watching.
Anklet. No, they can hear you. That's why I'm not making any noise. Come on, keep on describing it.
And it's beautiful. It fits perfectly, and oh shoot, I'm trying to find her business card because I took a picture of it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, they were so cool that I totally recommend them if you want to get any jewelry that's real and legit from Mexico.
How much was it?
Like $40.
It was $40 for a silver anklet. This would have cost me $300. I know because I looked one up for her birthday. It was $320.
Yep.
I got it for $40.
all right, don't break it. I really like it. So yeah, amazing people, beautiful chains, beautiful jewelry. Really, really, really hospitable and nice people. Have nothing but good things to say about everyone there.
Very cool.
Except the servers. Not Victor.
Not Victor.
But other restaurants that we've been to are
the most inviting culture I've ever seen. But yet, the servers are kind of bitchy.
Well, they were just like...
Some servers, not all servers. And I know serving is serving. And, you always get a mixed bag. But for some reason, it just seemed like they weren't as nice as American servers for whatever reason.
No, they just weren't having it. None of them were.
The bartenders, on the other hand, talk about a fiesta.
Oh, yeah.
They're always a good time. Well, the ones who could talk English. Chef's kiss. Amazing people.
Well, all of them.
All of them. But we didn't really talk to the ones who didn't talk.
You didn't.
I didn't. You're right. My assistant here, /girlfriend, /amazing person with silver on her ankles, speaks pretty decent Spanish and surprised a lot of people.
It was fun.
They would go, "Oh, gringo, you speak Espanol."
Gringo, they never called me gringo.
You're right. They always called her gringo.
Oh, okay.
Just one time.
Yeah. Well, that was the freaking guy that was trying to sell us weed.
60% of the time, it works. 100% of the time.
All right. I'm going to eat another banana.
Do you want to talk about the really cool beaded sculptures that we saw in that one shop?
Ooh, yeah.
Out of all the shops, I mean, we probably went to like 60 shops. There was one shop specifically that took sculptures of, I don't even know, like there was a skull and they beaded, or a horse even, and they did colorful beads. It was almost like what are those things called? It's not bedazzled, but you have like a piece of paper and you bead the paper.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that, but it was a whole sculpture. It was really cool, and I've never seen that before. Even growing up in a Hispanic town, I've never seen that before. So that was really interesting.
It was really beautiful.
Yeah, there was this horse. It was a It was about this big or so, horse sculpture, and it was this black and white beads, and there was a skull, and it was purple and red and yellow beads all the way through it, and then it had exposed teeth. Oh, honestly, we probably should have got one.
Yeah,
They were unique.
they're really cool. If you guys want pictures of Mexico, let us know.
Yeah, comment. We can put some pictures through. A couple of things I did want to talk about. I want to talk about the church. And I wanted to talk about the little street dance, the street fiesta thing that we got to see, the parade. So, what did you think about the church? That church was really cool.
It was a really big cathedral. It
Uh,
was
we'll put it. I think we'll put it in the B roll. We'll put the picture of the church in the podcast. I can do that.
okay.
Okay.
Um,
Anyways, what were your thoughts on the church? I mean, you've seen a lot of churches in your day. I thought it was beautiful.
I thought it was really pretty.
What did it look like?
It had all of the gold and silver and the beautiful stained art glass, um, stained glass art. Um, it was Cody. Okay. Anyways, it was I don't know, almost breathtaking. Like it's imagine a cathedral, like what you would imagine a Catholic church to look like on the inside,
Hmm.
but then add more gold and silver and just
Purple.
like eye-catching colors and designs. It was honestly just beautiful. And they had the bells
Mm-hmm.
going at the same time, and they were up there. We saw people like it just in like normal street clothes ringing the bells with all their life, and I don't even know how they have any hearing. They probably don't because they were right there. Those were some big bells, and you can hear it through the whole town.
There was 3 bells.
Yeah, and that's why we went over because we're like, oh, we got to go see what that noise is all about. And then we saw it, and we're like, wow, that's beautiful. It's like breathtaking. It's gorgeous.
Beautiful. So, kind of how it happened is we were wandering around this little marketplace, and we hear some bells just bong, 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 loud and long. Like they rang the bells for like 10 minutes. Like it was long. It was a long time. And we go, wow, that's a church. Let's go check it out. And so we get to the edge of this market and we look up. And so it's a street on an incline. And then it's the staircase. And then it's probably 2 double door wide. So 4 doors wide, a corridor open. And I don't know, 10, 12 feet tall. Kind of goes up and it peaks off. And so it's just the street up across, or sorry, it's like a sidewalk up and then across the street and then stairs and then it just opens. And inside it's what are they called? Pews. It's pew. And it's what are those called? Pillars. There's these white pillars and the pillars have banners. And then it's gold lined on the roofs as the pillars are passing by. And then it's a giant golden cross, and in the background of those golden crosses are large purple banners. And you get to the church, and you can't wear street clothes, and they had all these things you couldn't do. You can't be on your phone, can't have alcohol or any other thing, and it is dead silent in the church. Not a single person is talking. There's people talking on the street, and there's people talking outside, but the second they get into the church, nothing. Honestly, I think a surreal experience and a beautiful piece of culture. So, couldn't recommend it enough. I so blessed to have experienced that. I've never even stepped foot into a Catholic church, so just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it kind of looked like a brick castle almost from the outside, like
Mm,
towering. It was so big. And it wasn't like brick, but it was like a tan brick kind of color. Anyways, it was beautiful.
that was brick. It was brick. It was red.
It was red.
Yeah, it was red.
Yeah, it was really, really pretty. There were so many things to see in Mexico. So many. Your eyes are just going all over the place. Well, because it's a jungle. On top of that, you don't see jungles in where we're at. I've never seen a jungle. Well, actually, I take that back.
You've never seen a tropical jungle?
I've never seen a tropical jungle. And it was truly breathtaking to be a part of that and to I'm so grateful for the opportunity, and I think my cry rating in Mexico.
My assistant's cryability rating for the whole trip of Mexico, a grand total of 9.
It was so beautiful, and I felt so honored and so fortunate and grateful to have that experience. And we didn't even spend like that much money at all. It was so cheap for
How much was it?
both of us to go, like $8.50.
$8.50 a person.
It was.
That's with spending money.
Yeah, that was for the whole week,
That was
Monday
flights,
to Friday.
Resorts, and $200 cash for each of us. Well, $200 cash for me and like $80 for her.
Yeah, like 80. Like it was a magical experience for like it was. There's so many things that you can go and do and you can budget for. We worked our butt off to save money for it, and we planned ahead.
You hear that? That means like and comment and share this video so we can make more money. I'm doing this in my bedroom.
What? That's not the point I was trying to make.
Oh, you're not trying to tell everyone that we're poor?
No.
Oh.
I'm trying to say anyone could go and travel.
You're right.
Anyone. My mom was getting on my case, and I was telling her how excited I was, and my whole family was like, no way you're going to Mexico. How much? Told them, and they were like, what? Like, no. They were like, you're in college. You have all these things to save for. You literally have no money. How are you going to pay for it? DoorDash.
DoorDash, amongst other things. We figured it out. That's the moral of the story here. When life feeds you lemons, you figure it out.
No, not even that. Like, if you want something,
take it by the cojones and squeeze them and grow a mustache. And you tell the world, I will come for you. What? You were saying?
Alright, so I don't even know what to say after that. Anyways, I feel like you guys get my point. It was a magical experience. If you feel like you're broke, you probably are. You can still make things work. If you want to travel and see the world, you have no money, I feel ya. You can do it.
When in doubt, rob a homeless person.
What?
What?
Alright. This is an outlandish podcast. It's St. Patrick's Day's getting to you.
Okay, let's talk about... I want to talk about the street fiesta, and I want to talk about the zip line, and we'll get out of here. Okay, so we saw some random clowns get off a bus. So let's start there.
That was so weird. So we were walking to the church.
Hey, don't wiggle this. Don't wiggle that.
Oh.
It's okay.
We were walking to a church. Right? We're walking to the church to go see the bells. This bus drives by right in front of us as we're walking, and we see these 2 clowns in the back of the bus, and I look at Cody, and I'm like, you saw that, right? And I was like, yeah, I saw that. I was like, what? So we had to stop and turn around and see where they got off. Right? They just stopped at the corner, and they got off. We're like, okay. Anyways, kept walking, went to church, did all of that. And later in the night, we see them again, but in a whole parade. It was a whole thing, and it was like so fun and fascinating, and it was colorful and just everything.
It literally just looked like a pieced together parade. It was a bunch of people who just dressed up and decided we're going to walk down this street and be really loud and noisy. It was exciting. It was fun. I'll put the B-roll in this podcast so you guys can all see it. So I'll let my editor know, which is me. And we got to see some aliens. That was really cool. We got to see a dude dressed up as a girl who was dancing around. There was a bunch of people with speakers, and even more people, surprisingly enough, live streaming on TikTok. Exciting, fun, interesting, I've never seen a parade like that in the States before. So, and from all accounts, they probably do it frequently. I don't think that's something, I don't think we just happened upon a rare occurrence. I think that they probably do that regularly. So if you're ever in Puerto Vallarta, go to the boardwalk, watch the parade. It's probably about 8 o'clock at night. It was really fun. It was really cool. And the probably the coolest and definitely the most rare thing that we got to do is a zip line roller coaster. So let's talk about that for a second.
So that whole excursion, I highly, highly, highly recommend Vallarta Adventures.
Oh, they're not only did everyone say they were the best company to go with, the safest company to go with, when we went with them and we had our experience, not a single thing went wrong. They referred to us as family. They took care of everything. I never felt worried. I never felt like we were getting taken advantage of. I never felt like we were in danger. And they even speedboated us to these remote villages. I mean, they took care of everything, and they were so nice and so polite, and I felt so good and taken care of.
Yeah, definitely go through them if you're going to do something. You can do last minute or you can plan ahead. Doesn't matter. I feel like they are very accommodating and everyone there is so happy. Like they enjoy their jobs, which was
Oh yeah,
really cool. Like I feel like everyone really enjoyed their jobs. Like
yeah.
even the guy washing the cars was smiling at us as we were walking by. That's right.
It's okay.
To on our way there,
The bartender who washed your feet.
washed my feet.
Yeah, you washed the sand off your feet,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you dropped the glasses. He's like, "Oh, I got the glasses."
Yeah, that was at Vallarta Adventures. He was.
So there was this bartender, and he was just watering the bushes. Pretty much is all he was doing. And my assistant needed her feet to be washed off, and she didn't even ask. He just started doing it. He was just like, "Oh, I wash your feet. I wash your feet." She's all dancing and having fun, and their glasses fell. She's like, "Oh, get my glasses!" And he's like, "Oh, I got some glasses!" Ah! He sprays it. Very kind, very fun. It just like the little things. He wasn't part of the excursion. He was just there, and he still made it a good time. And that kind of stuff you can't plan for, you can't pay for. It just happens, and that just speaks to how well that company is and how highly I would recommend them.
Yeah, I think we paid a grand total of $135 for the both of us for that whole day.
It was 250.
It was $250 for both of
It was
us.
250 for both of us, but we had a combo pack, so it was like 115 for each person, and then plus tax.
Oh,
It was about 100, about 250 for both of us.
you just picked your video on. You just picked your nose on the podcast.
That's fine. Whatever. Okay.
All right. Anyways,
Thanks for pointing it out.
people already saw that.
Okay, now that we got that over with,
Oh my gosh. All right, so I think it's getting a little late.
we gotta tell them about the roller coaster.
I know. I gotta tell them about everything.
Okay, so it's the only zipline roller coaster in the world, correct?
Yeah, that's. I'm pretty dang sure it's the.
What they
only,
said.
I'm pretty sure it's the only one in the world.
And if it's not the only one in the world, still so freaking cool.
I'm pretty sure it's the only one in the world. So we did the adventure combo. Highly recommend. You could not spend like we definitely got our money's worth. Like and then some. 100%. Like it was
all day.
Amazing.
It was extremely fun. We got a snorkel, ride a speedboat, zip line, go down water slides, ride mules.
Yeah, the horse ride.
See whales. Whole 9 yards.
Yeah, the watching the whales wasn't even a planned part. They just were like,
we got fortunate.
They were like, "Hey, look, there's some whales. Let's go stop and see them." Like it was. Yeah. We had really cool guides. Everyone is very accommodating, very nice, very. They are so. Most of the time, you could think that tour guides might be a little pushy and might be a little judgmental, maybe like
or maybe at least just trying to hurry you through the stuff. Not for a second. No. I would say they set the bar high. They set it right here, and they hit here. Not the bar was high. We wanted to have a lot of fun, and they exceeded those expectations.
Yeah, it was
zipline roller coaster. Tell us about it. What happened? What did it look like? What did it feel like? What happened to you? What did it look like? Let's start with that.
This zipline roller coaster, you get in this. little cloth thing that kind of wraps you up into like a little cannonball almost.
Yeah. You had to tuck your legs, tuck your arms.
And you're swinging through this tropical jungle with huge drops and ups and downs and side to side, and you're you're
Oh yeah,
flying
you're
through this.
flying.
You
You're
are,
probably going like 30 miles an hour.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it just kept going. I thought it was going to be over, but it was so long. Like it kept coming and coming, and there's a huge surprise at the end, which was a little rough.
I'll get into it. So you get into your little cradle, and they're hooking you up just like any other zip line. Um, you have your what do they even call them? Your railing.
Your the straps in the bar.
No, the rig. So you're on your rig, and for this one, it was kind of weird. So you had a straight rig that hooked to your gear, and then you had two ropes, and these ropes for direction. Then they made you tuck your knees in. Funny enough, when I was about to go, my tour guide goes, "Okay, you got to tuck your knees because we got a lot of trees here, and they don't tell us when to grow." So I thought that was kind of funny. And they give you a little head start, and they push you down the zip line, and you're hanging on a rope, and you're hanging onto a rope, and you're all tucked in, ready to go, and you're going, and you kind of swing around to your left, and then you drop, and you're whoa, holy cow! And I mean, they're good 5 to 10 foot drops at first, and so you drop, and then you're swinging right, and you're swinging left, and you come around this big left sweeping turn, and it drops down into a double drop. So it goes drop one is probably 10 feet. You come back up, drop another one, it's probably 15 feet, and you level back off. And then you swing around a left corner one more time because we're going downhill. So there's a lot of left corners in this one. It's kind of So we swing around another left corner, and you're coming in, and all you hear is the tour guide, and he goes, "Hold your breath, you're going to hit the water." And you're coming around, and then you just drop out of the sky. You just go poof, right into, I don't know, 15 feet of water or so. Like you can't swim, you can't touch, you don't know what's going on. Your face is full of water, your nose is full of water, you're coughing, the tour guide's trying to grab you. The people behind you are laughing at you because they did the same thing. You're spitting, you're coughing, you're sneezing. It's freezing cold because it's waterfall mountain water. And the best thing I've probably ever experienced. Couldn't recommend it enough. Beautiful, sweet, nice adventure. Cheap adventure as well. Anything else you can add?
Um, let's see.
Any other takeaways? They didn't feed us enough, but that's okay. We forgive them.
So, oh, we also got to rappel down a waterfall.
That was fun. Tell them about how sexy I looked.
No, thank you.
Never mind, just kidding.
So,
just say I'm pretty good at rappelling, and I'll say so myself.
All right, you done over there?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we thought he was joking at the end of the tour after we went through this like beautiful thing, and he wasn't. I mean, they're joking the whole time, but he was like, this wasn't his joking voice. This was like the main tour guide. His name was Coot. Coot. I'm pretty sure it's Cut.
No idea.
Coot? I'm pretty sure it's Coot.
I don't know anybody's name except for Cooper Jones. That guy's a G.
All right, so
don't do it. She's putting her feet on the podium, and the podium shakes. So sorry if the camera's a little shaky, guys. Anyways, you were saying. So our main tour guide thought he was joking.
He was talking about all of these things because we had to wait for our I wouldn't even like our army truck to come pick us up, take us through this beautiful town. Beautiful town. Like little village. It was breathtaking. Gorgeous, stunning, everything. So
beautiful little town. Very colorful.
Very cool.
And all of the construction workers were using their hands and basic tools. Just chisels and hammers.
Yeah.
Anyways, you were saying.
Um,
So Coot was saying.
he was talking about um how we had to wait for our bus, and he was like, "All right, well, so we got a mechanical bull, a tortilla lady up there making some wonderful margaritas and tortilla chips and just anything you could want for snacks." And he was just going off about all these things that they had, like basketball and soccer and these little swings and archery and like just listing all these things that I was like, no way. Like, what? A mechanical bull? That's so random.
They did have a mechanical bull.
And sure enough, we walk up there and there's everything that he said, and it's a beautiful grounds.
It's like a little ranch, kind of carved out in the
Yeah,
woods, in the forest.
yeah,
Some chickens running around. My assistant loved those.
yeah. It was it was such a fun experience. That Okay, so I guess the one downside of Vallarta Adventures is that they they don't exactly tell you what's included with their snacks and their drinks.
Yeah, and pictures.
Oh my gosh, and the pictures.
So they don't let you take your phone. They don't let you take any GoPros, anything for pictures. They have a lady who takes pictures and takes videos, but they charge you about $100 to get them, which not only is really really expensive. That's half as much as the excursion cost itself. But we just didn't have that money on us.
Yeah, it was a
I'm not
little
gonna
crazy.
take $100 extra to a random village in the middle of Mexico that I don't know anything about.
Yeah,
So, anyways, we didn't get any pictures for you guys.
for
But
that at least.
the pictures were super cool, and I wish they would have, not been so expensive.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, that's the one downside. Their drinks and their food were like really expensive. If we wanted to get like a
It's like
burrito or
15
something like
bucks for
that.
a margarita.
I mean, it makes sense because they're out in the middle of nowhere and they wouldn't make money off of whatever. But at the same time, I was like, "Geez,
They did give us chips and salsa though, so we can't complain too much.
that was for free.
That was for
That
free.
was for free."
Alrighty. Well, should we wrap this up?
Yep.
Sounds good. Well, everybody remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that noti bell. And that's all, folks.